What is up, everybody? How is everybody doing today? And welcome back to another Clash Mini video on the channel. In today's video, we have none other than Spoob joining us for this hero tier list. Spoob, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. And what's going on, boys? Your boy, Bo, Enchatin. Thank you so much for having me on the channel. It has been years since we've done a collab, bro.
Years.
Great to be on the channel.
Yeah, no,
years.
I'm super excited to get this one going, and honestly, it has been too long. So let's just jump right into this. And I want to know, Spoob, who is your worst hero inside of Clash Mini, and where do you put him?
The worst hero right now, I would definitely put Royal Champion probably in F tier. I do appreciate the team for making these kinds of changes, you know, off the wall kind of changes, but unfortunately just does not fit into the meta. I'm going to put Royal Champion in F tier.
All right, so we have S to D here. We're going to throw the Royal Champion in the D tier. Royal Champion right now just is not very great. I'm also going to agree with you here and put him in the D tier. I just don't think he is very great, you know, at this current moment in time. I feel like he just struggles too much in the meta, especially with, you know, the heroes that are at the top. All right, so I'm going to go next, and I'm going to say the second worst mini in the game here is going to be the Monk, and I am going to put him in the C tier. I think the Monk is a decent hero, but there's just too many counters to him right now in the current meta.
You know, Enchant, I got to say, we actually mirrored the same exact two worst minis, two worst heroes. I'm also going to put the Monk there. You know, you have minis that are definitely be countering Monk. Yes, it is an anti-clash. Yes, it does have positive matchups. Maybe in some situations against Wave Master or Shield Maiden. But other than that, I mean, I feel like it just kind of falls flat. You have things like Dark Goblin. You have things like Swordsman that deals 10 damage to a single unit. Mega Knight is still out there with Dark Armor, gaining energy, getting his ability off. Yeah, I just got to say, you know, he's just kind of falling flat right now. And I really hope to see him not getting buffed, because he might become too scary. But other heroes around him getting not just reworked but changed.
All right. Who do you think is the third worst mini in Clash Mini right now, or should I say hero?
This is a hot take. Okay, I'm not going to get some hate for this, but I'm going to say Countess. Countess is a snowball type of hero. She kind of falls flat in the first two rounds, but when we get to round 3 to round 5, the more kills she gets, the more she stacks. I mean, just the stronger she gets. It does put BK in check, at least in my opinion. It does fall pretty hard to AQ and to Skeleton King, and in some instances, I would also even say Shield Maiden. But I feel like that the minis around her, just like a Royal Ghost, for instance, Ewiz, you have so many good pairings with Countess, so I'm going to put her in the B tier.
All right, so Countess being your third worst mini here. For me, I'm going to go a little bit different than the Countess here. I am actually going to say that, man, I know this is going to be almost like a hot take here, but Skeleton King for me is going to be into the B tier. And okay, honestly, here's why. I just think the Skeleton King doesn't do very, very well versus my top heroes right now. And that is why the Skeleton King is going to be in the B tier, just for that fact alone. I mean, when I play my hero that I personally love, I beat the Skeleton King 110 times in a row. It's just not very strong versus my current top hero, so that is why I'm going to put it in the B tier here as my third worst hero. As my fourth worst hero inside of Clash Mini, the kind of hero that's kind of in the middle, I'm actually going to say it's going to be the Countess. I did put the Countess one higher than the Skeleton King, and yes, you know, as you said, it could be a little bit further down, but there's still a lot of players that play Barbarian King and only play Barbarian King still, and that's why I'm going to keep the Countess here in the B tier, because it's not just how strong the hero is, it's how strong the hero is to the current meta of what everybody's playing, right? So I personally personally think it is. I do these tier lists like this. I say, what do you think is the win percentage or the win rate that you're going to have with the hero? And I think it's higher and inflated just because of the Barbarian King.
Gotcha. And I gotta say, Enchant, I'm so glad that we have different placements in our tier list, and it kind of just shows how diverse the meta is. So I want to give some love over to the Clash Mini team, for making this meta super diverse, and and just for making this game so much fun to play, especially during this dry season of Clash Mini. But with that being said, I do want to go over to my next worst mini. Now, again, another hot take. This is one of my favorite heroes of all time, being the Shield Maiden. I feel like the Shield Maiden does have, a really good ability. It's a really good check to Archer Queen, but, and a pretty good check maybe to some BK lists and maybe some Countess lists. But other than that, I mean, you have Battle. It's not just because of Battle Healer, but also because of Healing Ranger getting her new rework to target the furthest mini. When you have something like that, when you have Pancaker, when you have, minis that's supposed to help out her ability, which is to protect, she definitely will get a ton of the big value. They're gonna see within you're gonna see within some gameplay. But I do feel like that she does lose to Wave Master. She does lose in some instances. Actually, in a lot of instances, in my opinion, I feel like she loses to SK a lot. Just because like Musketeer, it will stun Shield Main for so long. She's not able to get her ability off. I see that far too many times. And if you don't mind, Enchant, I just want to put my next worst mini.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put Skeleton King right in front of Shield Maiden. I feel like that. I will disagree. I feel like that Skeleton King, with his second ability, with the isolation, with the dissipate, I mean, he is just a tank. He's just a tank walking. Put him on the mirror map, put him on the shell tile. He's always going to be getting his value within any kind of play style. You have things like him. You have Royal Ghost that pairs very well with him. You have Ewiz for the extra CC. You even have things like Musketeer with Healing Ranger that's able to keep balance and keep non-isolated units. I just feel like that he's also a really good check to Wave Master, even though that there are players, today that are trying to dip out of, this territory and not just make this like an 80-20 matchup. It's more 60-40 now. So I got to say, this is why I'm going to put SK kind of like in the middle of the road. I feel like he's super good, but there could be, other minis that are kind of deter him, just like Archer Queen.
All right. That is a hot take. I do have the Shield Maiden a little bit higher. For my next worst mini, I'm going to say it's going to be the Barbarian King, and I'm actually going to put the Barbarian King in the B tier. And I think a lot of people are going to say, Enchatin, how can you put a Barbarian King in the B tier? And I just feel that Wave Master takes care of it. Archer Queen takes care of it. There's just a lot of other minis that we haven't shown right now. So there's 3 more heroes, I should say, that are still available. It's the Shield Maiden, it's the Wave Master, and it's the Archer Queen. All 3 of those heroes do very, very well and extremely well versus Barbarian King, especially with the infinite healing now with the Shield Maiden decks. Barbarian King just struggles a little bit to get a lot of pop and power off. There was a nerf to Gizmos, which is a huge hit to the Barbarian King, because the Barbarian King worked very well with every single gizmo, so that was an advantage for Barbarian King on, let's just say 20% of the matches. Archer got a little bit of a hit. Lumberjack got a little bit of a hit. It seemed like all of the minis just got a slight nerf. Wizard as well to the Barbarian King, and that is why it is in the B tier. And I'm gonna go with my next hero here, and I'm gonna put the Shield Maiden in the A tier. Now, I know you had it in the B tier, and I know you had a lot of reservations for why it should be there instead of going up into a higher tier, into the A tier where I have it. And I think that she is just so good right now with the infinite healing decks, and she really is a very easy hero to play. She's a tank. The Musketeer is just so strong with the Healing Ranger, and then you have the Battle Healer as well with Elixir Pump. It's an automatic win with the Shield Maiden. And I think that her with the infinite healing right now is just amazing, because really the only thing that stops it is the Valkyrie, because the wizard just got nerfed. Nobody really plays it anymore. So now she's able to beat Barbarian King players, and it just causes a lot of havoc. And I know a lot of people dislike playing versus healing. And honestly, I think her with healing is the reason why she is in the A tier.
You know, and I gotta say, like, I do agree with a lot of points you have in chatting, and this is where I'm gonna disagree. I feel like that Barbarian King is the third best hero in the game, just because of the buff to Dark Goblin. I mean, oh, thanks, Morty. So Dark Goblin, you know, getting that extra HP, I feel like kind of pushed him over the edge. You can now, you know, I feel like that Dark Goblin BK is definitely a pretty solid, in my opinion, a pretty solid counter to Wavemaster. You know, if you guys have checked on my channel, I have a really good BK deck. I'm actually posting another one today as this video is being posted, about how to counter, you know, Wavemaster with Barbarian King. Having that 5-second invincibility shield is just so strong. You can pair him up with Prince for disposition. You can pair up Miner to hit the back line. I just feel like that he's the perfect Swiss Army knife that's able to group minis together and then make them stronger. So yeah, that is gonna be, you know, probably my top of A tier. If you don't mind, Enchant, I do want to go over my second you know, best hero in the game, which should be Wavemaster. Wavemaster is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. I feel like he does kind of fall flat to Archer Queen, just because, I mean, she has insane damage output. You're able to position both units to any of your liking. You kind of just use the board to your entire self. I feel like with Countess, you have to be a little bit more careful, not put her into the front line. I feel like with Monk, you have to get that clash ability in order to get value. With World Champion, she has literally no defense for her. But with Wavemaster and Archer Queen, I just feel like they're just the best heroes in the game. I mean, you have Queen's Gambit that, you know, when drop below 50% health, everyone around her within one tile becomes invisible and also gets +1 damage. That is literally insane. Like, that is something that should definitely be touched on, and it kind of removes interactability within Clash Mini. But Wavemaster, I mean, he can flip over Valkyrie, he can flip over Swordsman, and Swordsman does 10 damage to one single unit. Which is also a small check to Countess. That's why Countess, in my opinion, is a little bit lower, just because you have these 1 unit checks. But you know, in my opinion, though, I feel like that Archer Queen is the best, and Wavemaster is the second best, just because of how much flexibility you have within these matches.
All right. I mean, I can't really disagree with you there. I do have the Wavemaster as the second best hero inside of Clash Mini right now. I think the Wavemaster is very, very strong. I think it has a lot of strong matchups, but it does lose to the lower tiered heroes here. I mean, you know, Countess, if you play it correctly, you could beat Wavemaster. You also have Skeleton King that could sneak out a win versus Wavemaster. Like you said, Barbarian King can even sneak out some wins versus Wavemaster as well. And Monk, if it hits correct, you know, it can, you know, clear out the Wavemaster. And I just think that's too many heroes that could win. Yes, it's not 100% win. You know, a lot of those are 50-50 matchups and so on and so forth like that. But if you are going to be the #1 hero inside of Clash Mini, I feel like you need to have more favorable matchups. And that's why I'm going to have Archer Queen as the #1 hero for me. And I really feel like she only loses to Shield Maiden, and now honestly, I'm even beating Shield Maidens with the extra stun on the Musketeer and the infinite healing with my Healing Ranger. If it isn't for Rocket, I mean, Archer Queen just sits there, you know, goes invisible. It makes the Musketeer invisible, makes the Healing Ranger invisible, and then all of a sudden, when she gets out of that invisibility, guess what? Every single mini on your board is 100% HP, and they are now dishing out the damage. The Musketeer is knocking back the Wavemaster, knocking back the Shield Maidens, the Countesses, the Barbarian Kings, the Monk, the Skeleton Kings. The Royal Champion, it doesn't need to do anything because the Royal Champion isn't going to do anything. It's just going to lose versus Archer Queen. So Archer Queen just has so much pressure in the current meta, especially paired up with the Musketeer and the Healing Ranger. Honestly, I play the Archer Queen with just Giant Skeleton, Musketeer, and Healing Ranger. I don't really even play the other two minis, and I win so often, and it's just such easy victories as well. And honestly, that's why I think it's the best hero inside of Clash Mini, hands down right now.
Yeah. And I gotta say, like, the Arch Queen isn't completely dominant, right? You still have to know how to pilot the deck. And I'm not saying this like it's completely high skill, like you'll never learn how to use it. It's just, watching certain players go to work. I recommend Pooty, for some decks. I recommend just, the Reddit also that makes these really good decks and also guides on how to use these very strong heroes. But I gotta say, this, you can always, it's really it's hard to counter Archer Queen in some instances. I feel like when I'm playing Monk or I'm playing SK, I'm just thinking, oh well, this match is already over. Just because if that Archer Queen gets invisible, I already lost the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Enchatin, thanks for having me on for today's video. I do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, check out Spoob. Spoob's channel will be in the comments and in the description as well. You do not want to miss the intros that Spoob does. Sometimes he forgets how many times he hits his chest, but it is what it is. But thank you guys so much for watching this YouTube video. I love each and every single one of you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my next video. If you guys disagree with anything on this tier list, please leave it in the comments below. But until tomorrow, take it easy, everybody.